Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The activity today is a Gizmos Explore Learning activity. And for those of you that missed last week, Gizmos is the platform we use in our class to do simulations, to do labs that would be we're doing in class that we can't do in distance learning environment. So the simulation you're going to be working on today is growing plants. I'm going to go ahead and click Launch Gizmo and just get that ready for us. But before we jump into this, I'm going to go over the student exploration growing plants activity with you. Now, you were given a copy of this as a Google Doc, and you're going to be writing in that Google Doc, and then when complete, you're going to submit it to me in Canvas. At the very beginning of class, we have gone over these 6 vocabulary terms. That was your bell work for today. If you haven't done the bell work for 831 and 91, make sure you do that matching. After those bell work questions are done, however, you're then going to want to jump into answering these prior knowledge questions. So the first prior knowledge question, what do you think plants need to grow and stay healthy? So you're going to want to answer that question on the lines right here. Number 2, soil is a combination of tiny rock fragments and decayed plant materials. How do you think soil helps a plant? You're going to want to answer that question in your Google Doc. Once you have these 2 prior knowledge questions done, that is when you are ready to then go back to the Gizmo itself. So here is the lab simulation, growing plants. And you'll notice that there are these water containers and there are these plant containers with rulers sticking inside the pots. You have an A setup, a B setup, and a C setup. You also have tomato seeds, you have beans, which are a type of seed, and turnip seeds, along with fertilizer and compost. You can drag the seeds, fertilizer, and compost to the pots. You can also change the number of lights and the amount of water for each plant. First thing you're going to be exploring is whether plants need water to grow in a healthy plant. So, what I would recommend doing is getting some compost into your pot. Compost into all of your pots. You'll notice there's no more compost once you get it in all 3 pots. Let's put some fertilizer in there too. And then let's put tomato seeds over here. Let's put tomato seeds here, and let's put tomato seeds here. And then let's hit play to see if water is important. So you may have noticed I made a mistake. Over here we have daily water 50 milliliters. What do I need to do if I make a mistake? Well, if I need to make a mistake, I'm going to want to hit the back button and then go to it basically starts it back at day 0, so we don't have to clear pots because I just want to see how water affects it. So I'm going to have one of these with no water, and I'm going to see if there's a difference between my 2 plants over here and the third one on the left. So let's see. 0 daily water to 50 milliliters daily water and 50 milliliters daily water. Well, after a few days, 30 days, you'll notice that something different is happening to plant A and B and C. So the first experiment is to see what that difference is. The next thing you're going to do, activity B, is for you to examine how the amount of light affects the plant growth. So in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to click on the light source up here, and we're going to shut these off. So you'll notice it only allows you to shut off one light. And then let's start again, and let's see if there's any effect here. I can already tell there's an effect, so I'm not going to run it all the way through. Let's clear it again. Third thing you're going to do is create their own question. You're going to create your own question and then design an experiment to answer it. So with all of these different supplies here, you're going to choose what the experiment's going to look like after you've played around with it a little bit, and then tell me what happened. You're going to pick the variables, whether it's water, whether it's light, whether it's fertilizer, whether it's compost, and you're going to tell me how the different plants grow. And remember, you can move these. You can change the seeds that you put in there. You can change the water, and you can also change the light. So play around with it a little bit, and see if you can come up with an interesting experiment that you can then talk about afterwards. Remember, in class, we have to learn to design experiments. That's what we are doing, and then we run them and see what happens so we can collect our data. Maybe repeat the experiment, blah, blah, blah. Different variables would be light, water, seed, fertilizer, and compost. All right, I hope that helps a little bit. You're going to work through this whole activity from the very beginning, following exactly what it says, collecting data when you need to, answering questions when they come up.